I think he was prepared good. Usyk was good prepared, and he can beat him more, a lot more.
Where did Oleksandr Usyk run?
Are you kidding me? He's earned the right to be. He's earned the right to be mentioned with all the top guys.
He was definitely well prepared for the fight. Everything was in place, his conditioning, his game plan, and honestly, he could have taken it even further. Now, when we talk about Oleksandr, are we really questioning his place among the best? He's absolutely earned that right. He's one of the top champions of our generation. What makes him stand out is his incredible boxing intelligence. It's something most fighters just can't deal with. They can't figure it out. Boxers everywhere admire Usyk because of his unmatched skills, his smooth movement, and the way he never backs down. It's no wonder he's respected by everyone in the sport. Usyk's stamina, his ability to adjust on the fly, and how he controls the ring, it's all part of what makes him so special. His precision in executing strategies leaves other fighters amazed. A lot of people consider him the toughest challenge in boxing today. His dominance in multiple weight classes and his unstoppable drive to be the best make him a force to be reckoned with. When heavyweight contender Quat Polvi was asked about Usyk's place in boxing, he didn't hesitate. Usyk is number one. That's it. Those few words capture what so many in the boxing world are saying. From fighters to analysts, the consensus is clear: Usyk is at the very top right now. Last time, Usyk really took control, beating him even more convincingly, but this time he still put on a great performance. Did you notice how often Oleksandr was landing that backhand? It seemed like he was connecting with Fury quite a bit. It was clear that Usyk came into this fight fully prepared. He was in the right shape with the right plan. Honestly, he could have done even more, maybe even secured a bigger win, but sometimes things don't go exactly as planned in the ring. Usyk's promoter said the same thing, praising him for doing exactly what was needed to get the job done. Usyk got the win, and that's what matters. He's the best, and he did exactly what he set out to do. This victory shows just how much effort, discipline, and focus he puts into every fight. It's been the key to his success throughout his career. Ben Davidson, his trainer, summed it up perfectly. I'm happy because he did exactly what he had to do. He won. He went through 12 tough rounds with one of the best fighters out there, and he did it with skill and determination. What else can you say? Respect to both of these men. Davidson also said Usyk belongs among the all-time greats, recognizing just how much talent and heart he brings to the ring. It's clear that Usyk is on another level. Usyk has earned massive respect from the biggest names in boxing for what he's achieved in both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions. Ben Davidson, his trainer, makes it clear he thinks Usyk is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. To be undisputed in both cruiserweight and heavyweight is incredible, he said, and honestly, that's not an exaggeration. Just think about it, Usyk's been dominating across 2 weight classes, which is rare in boxing, so how good is Oleksandr Usyk really? Look at his career. He stepped into the heavyweight division and faced some of the toughest challenges: Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua twice, Tyson Fury twice, and still came out on top as the undisputed champion. That's no small feat. Usyk isn't just a champion, he's a true legend of
Special fighter.
Yeah, he put himself in the mix to be. He's put himself in the mix as one of the.
Coach Dave Caldwell also gave his thoughts on Usyk's impact since moving up to heavyweight. He pointed out how Usyk's activity in the ring is unmatched and his precision is on another level. Caldwell also praised how Usyk works the body so well and controls the pace of the fight. It's this mix of sharp technique and smart tactics that really makes Usyk stand out as one of the best in the game. He's a fighter who can do it all, and that's why he's so respected by everyone in boxing. Undisputed heavyweight champion too. That's incredible. Usyk's activity in the heavyweight division has been something special. Honestly, it's probably the best we've seen from him since he moved up. He really picks up the pace in the fight, and no matter how much his opponent tries to keep up, it's hard to stay with him. That constant pressure wears you down. But what really stands out is his body work. Usyk throws so many punches to the body: jabs, straight shots, backhands is nonstop. I'd love to see the stats on how many body punches he lands, because I believe that was the key to his success in the fight. His ability to stay active and consistently attack the body made all the difference. That's what helped him control the fight and take the win. Usyk's performance in the heavyweight division has honestly been the best we've seen from him so far. He's really stepped up his game. Before the fight, everyone was talking about Tyson Fury's right uppercut since it had worked so well for him in the past. There was a lot of talk about what Fury was going to do next, but I kept saying, Usyk is clever, his team would definitely study that and find a way to handle it better. And that's exactly what happened. Usyk's technical skill made him a nightmare for someone like Fury, even with all his experience. So when it came to the final round, did you ever question whether Usyk would pull through, or were you already confident that he had the win in the bag? When Usyk was asked if he felt comfortable going into the 12th round, knowing he was ahead on points, he kept it simple: I was just boxing, sticking to my plan, and doing what my coach Yuri told me. He went on to say, it wasn't easy, but honestly, it felt a bit easier than the first fight. Legendary ring announcer Michael Buffer also had high praise for Usyk's stamina. He compared him to a machine, saying Usyk's energy never seemed to run out. Buffer described him as having big batteries that just keep going, highlighting the incredible conditioning Usyk has. It's this unmatched endurance that has become one of his standout qualities, allowing him to perform at such a high level round after round. When talking about Usyk's mental toughness, the response was clear. Maybe you could have pushed him a bit harder, but Usyk is tough too. He knows how to use his size, his reach, and all his tools to his advantage. But the thing that stands out about Usyk is how he's often compared to a machine, always moving, always pressing forward, with a big battery that never runs out. Now, when asked if Usyk is unbeatable in this era, the answer was pretty simple: no one's unbeatable. Not even Muhammad Ali in his prime could stand up to today's challenges. And when it came to Tyson Fury's performance, the overall take was positive. Tyson did well. It was a strong performance from him. It's clear that even with all the praise for Usyk, there's still respect for the fighters in the ring today. After the fight, a lot of people thought it was pretty close, so what's next for Tyson Fury? Well, a fight with Anthony Joshua sounds like a great next step. That's definitely a fight fans would love to see. And then there's also the idea of Usyk facing Derek Chisora again. That could easily fill up Wembley Stadium with 90,000 fans, especially considering the drama from their first fight. WBO cruiserweight champion Lawrence Oakley also shared his thoughts on what makes Usyk so successful. He pointed out how Usyk's fitness is one of the main reasons he keeps winning. It was a great fight, and Usyk won because of his conditioning, Oakley said. His incredible physical preparation is clearly a huge part of what sets him apart in the ring. When talking about the physical edge Usyk brings into every fight, it's clear that his conditioning plays a huge role. One person said, yeah, Usyk definitely won, but it was still an exciting fight. The conversation then turned to Tyson Fury's weight. Did it affect the fight? The answer was yes, it definitely had an impact, they said. At times, Tyson used his size to control parts of the fight, leaning on Usyk and landing some good body shots. But in the end, what really made the difference was Usyk's ability to weather the storm. Despite the weight and power from Fury, Usyk's fitness and mental toughness allowed him to keep going strong, especially in the later rounds. His endurance was key to securing the win. You could really see how Usyk's conditioning made a difference in the final rounds. He had that extra energy to throw 3 or 4 more punches in each exchange, and that's what gave him the edge in the fight. Teddy Atlas, a veteran boxing analyst, also spoke highly of Usyk. He pointed out that Usyk has the ability to win in any scenario, calling him one of the best fighters of this era. He knows how to win, Atlas said, adding that Usyk has earned his spot among boxing's elite. What really sets you? Teddy Atlas admitted, I've gotten plenty of predictions wrong, but this one I felt really strongly about. Just like last time, Usyk knows how to win. He always finds a way to get the job done. He went on to say, I thought Tyson Fury would be better this time, and he was. He gave it his best shot. But in the end, Usyk still found a way to win because that's what he does. He knows how to win. As the conversation wrapped up, Teddy was asked where Usyk ranks in his mind now. With a thoughtful pause, Teddy replied, he's definitely up there. It was clear that Usyk's skills and determination have earned him a place among the very best in boxing today. Oleksandr Usyk's only real weakness might also be what makes him unstoppable, his ability to adapt and rise to any challenge. At the heart of his success is a rare combination of skill, determination, and mental toughness. Luke Thomas, a well-known combat sports commentator, called Usyk's latest performance elite, and even went as far as to say it was one of the best in boxing history. Usyk is one of a kind, a truly special fighter shaped by extraordinary circumstances, Thomas said. For years, people in boxing have tried to come up with plans to beat him. But, time and again, Usyk shows why he's different. He's like a wrecking ball, tearing through anything in his way. It's this relentless drive and unique talent that keeps fans and experts alike in awe of Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk has a way of ruining even the best game plans. Opponents come prepared, but he makes sure their strategies fall apart. Today was no different. He delivered a performance that was nothing short of brilliant, the kind you don't see every day. Everywhere Usyk has gone, he's made history. He won Olympic gold, dominated the cruiserweight division, and now stands as the heavyweight king of his generation. He's beaten Anthony Joshua twice, handled Tyson Fury twice, and defeated Daniel Dubois. What makes Usyk so special is hard to explain. It's the kind of talent you might not see again for decades. He's one of those fighters who come around once in a lifetime, leaving fans in the boxing world in awe of his greatness. Oleksandr Usyk is truly one of a kind. Everything about him stands out: his personality, his style, and the way he carries himself. He's not just another product of Ukraine's famous amateur boxing system, which also gave us stars like Vasyl Lomachenko and Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Even among legends, Usyk is different. He's special, said Luke Thomas, pointing to Usyk's charisma and the little things you can't teach that make him stand out in and out of the ring. Opponents just can't handle him. His skills, his mindset, and his presence are overwhelming. That's what makes Usyk so remarkable. He's not just a boxer, he's an unstoppable force. Oleksandr Usyk never fails to amaze. Every time he fights, he shows just how special he is. He's so impressive, it's unbelievable, said Luke Thomas. I can't get over how good he is. It's just incredible to watch. In his latest fight, Usyk brought back some of the moves that worked so well for him before. He controlled the fight with smart footwork, keeping the outside position and forcing his opponent to the left. He slipped under jabs and attacked the body with precision, using his signature stab to the body, a move he's mastered to perfection. What makes Usyk stand out even more is how he keeps improving. He takes what worked in the past, like those body jabs, and builds on them, adding new layers to his strategy. Every fight feels like a lesson in boxing brilliance. Oleksandr Usyk's ability to change his game plan is what makes him so special. In his first fight, he used one set of attacks, but in the rematch, he switched things up and brought in new strategies. This flexibility keeps his opponents guessing and proves why many consider him one of the best in the sport. Not everyone agrees, though. Simon Jordan has been vocal about his doubts, saying Usyk isn't unbeatable. He even suggested that a fighter like Daniel Dubois could take him down. At first, Jordan called a recent fight involving Usyk a draw. Later, after thinking it over, he admitted Usyk might have just edged it, scoring it 5-7, 5-6 in his favor. Opinions like these keep the conversation interesting, fueling debates about where Usyk truly stands in boxing history. When asked if Oleksandr Usyk is unbeatable, Simon Jordan was clear: no, I don't think so. He believes there's no such thing as an unbeatable fighter. Sure, some fighters retire undefeated like Andre Ward, Joe Calzaghe, Floyd Mayweather, Rocky Marciano, and Ricardo Lopez, but that doesn't mean they were unbeatable. Take Rocky Marciano, for example. He was nearly beaten by Jersey Joe Walcott in a Many legendary fighters have had close calls in their careers. Floyd Mayweather, for example, many fans and experts believe should have lost to Jose Luis Castillo in their first fight. And Rocky Marciano, despite his undefeated record, was nearly knocked out in the 13th round in a fight that could have been a loss. But when it comes to Oleksandr Usyk, experts agree on one thing: defeating him is a huge challenge. As one analyst said, if you're going to fight Usyk, you're likely going to lose because he's the best. Fight that many believe Walcott would have won if it had been 12 rounds instead of 15. It's a reminder that even the best can be pushed to their limits and in some cases be defeated. No one is invincible, no matter how great they are. This is how most people view Usyk. He's almost unbeatable, and taking him down is no easy feat. So the big question is, why did Tyson Fury lose? Well, there are a lot of factors to consider, and I've said before that it's not as simple as it might seem. When it comes to beating Oleksandr Usyk, I believe there's only one way to do it, and I've said this before, whether it's ahead of Anthony Joshua's fights or anyone else's, you've got to go all out, fight like it's kill or be killed. Even then, it's not a sure thing. Just because you fight like that doesn't guarantee victory, but if you try to box with him, you'll lose. He's simply the best at that style. Take Tyson Fury's first fight with Usyk, for example. Fury had some good moments and showed strong energy, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Usyk is just on another level, and that's something no one can ignore. Up until round 7, Tyson Fury was holding his own, but after that, his energy started to drop. He wasn't as effective, and Usyk took over the fight. The bottom line is this: if you're going to beat Usyk, you need to come out strong and go for the kill early in those first few rounds. If you don't, you're almost guaranteed to lose. But I'm not saying it's as easy as just rushing at him. You can't just throw everything out the window. You have to be smart and strategic. The key is to force the action. Usyk knows boxing inside out, so in order to beat him, you might have to take some risks and break a few rules. To beat Usyk, you've got to think outside the box and be unpredictable. When you catch him, don't just stop, go all in and use every last bit of energy to attack. Don't try to keep up with him, race ahead instead. If you try to match his pace, you're playing by his rules, and that's when he wins. A huge part of Usyk's success is his amazing movement and ring IQ. Experts say his footwork is the key to his style, allowing him to stay one step ahead of his opponents. That's why he's so tough to catch and even tougher to beat. Usyk is incredible at outsmarting and outclassing his opponents. He knows exactly when to close the distance and apply smart pressure, which makes him a real strategist in the ring. His movement is top-notch, always staying one step ahead. What I really respect about Usyk is his focus and attitude. He's not about the show or trying to get attention. When someone challenges him, he simply says, "I'm ready." You can tell he's an athlete who wants to prove he's the best. No distractions, no showboating, just pure determination to be the greatest. Usyk isn't about trash talking. He keeps things simple, saying, "Yes, we can do it. We'll fight again." If he beats Daniel Dubois, something a lot of people already think he's done, he'll have proven everything. He's already beaten Anthony Joshua twice, Tyson Fury twice, and if he takes down Dubois too, there's really nothing left for him to prove in boxing. At that point, I think Usyk might just retire from the sport. He could hang up his gloves and focus on spending more time with his wife and kids. It would be amazing for him to walk away as one of the greatest and enjoy the life he's worked so hard for. Usyk's recent victories make it clear he's one of the greatest boxers of all time. He's not just winning, he's outclassing his opponents with smart strategies, which has helped him build a legacy as one of the sport's top talents. This latest win just proves even more that he belongs among the all-time greats, and he's far from done. You might think after such a big win, Usyk could ask himself, what more do I need to prove? But that's not the case. He's still focused on building his legacy, and he's going to keep showing the world why he's one of the best, continuing to stay on top of the sport. There's been some talk about Usyk maybe moving down in weight to fight Jai Opetaia, but honestly, I don't see that happening. Usyk is now over 220 pounds, and going down from that would be tough. On the other hand, Daniel Dubois is looking for revenge, so we'll see what happens there. But for now, after a close fight, Usyk is still the winner. Who's going to beat Oleksandr Usyk? That question really shows how tough it is to face him in the ring. I've said it before, when the fight is over, the winner is usually Usyk. He doesn't let anything slip away from him. He knows that if he lets a round go badly, the momentum could shift, and that could cost him the fight. So what does he do? In the 6th round, he steps up, takes control, and dominates. He doesn't let the fight get out of hand, always staying in charge and proving why he's one of the best. So what does Usyk do in the next few rounds? On my scorecard, though, I didn't see the judges' scores. I gave him the 6th, 7th, 9th, and 10th rounds. He really took control during those. As for the 11th and 12th rounds, I gave those to Fury. Here's the final question for you. One-word answer. Will anyone from this era beat Oleksandr Usyk? Yes or no? There's really only one answer, and that's Father Time. I'll leave it at that. What a perfect way to wrap it up. Usyk's movement is something that gets a lot of attention from analysts like Spencer Oliver and John Rawling. They both call him a true marvel, amazed by how smoothly he moves and how smart he fights. These skills make him a special kind of boxer, one who can outthink and outfight his opponents. As one analyst said, Usyk is a stud. He's a tough guy to fight, with great movement, speed, and elusiveness. Tyson Fury has a real challenge ahead of him when he steps into the ring with someone like Usyk. During the fight, I would turn up the sound between rounds to hear what Fury's corner was saying. They were telling him the right things, but it sounded more like they were trying to cheer him on rather than giving him the real advice he needed. They were trying to hype him up, but it was clear he just didn't have what it took to beat Usyk. Usyk had his number. He knew exactly how to stand in front of Fury, avoid his punches, and when Fury threw, Usyk already knew how to counter. It was like Usyk was always one step ahead, ready with a counter before Fury even had the chance to react. Usyk was landing his counters more effectively and at a higher percentage. He was landing more punches overall and easily won the fight. I didn't think it was close at all. Usyk's second victory over Tyson Fury sparked a lot of debate. Many fans and analysts praised the win as a true sign of Usyk's greatness, but there were others who felt Fury had done enough to claim the win. The reality is, Usyk is a man of his word, and he's not just a champion inside the ring. He's a superstar in every sense, both in and out of the ring. Everyone knows what he brings to the table. He's a force to be reckoned with. With everything happening in Ukraine and what Usyk stands for, you can feel that passion and emotion in the ring. It really shows in his fights. When you get to round 9 and you think the fighters are starting to feel the fatigue and the mental battle is setting in, Usyk has this ability to turn it up. He digs deep and finds a way to push harder in those final championship rounds. That's what makes him stand out. It's not just his skills, it's his heart, his drive, and his determination to finish strong, no matter how tough it gets. What really sets Usyk apart from the rest is his ability to read the fight and make the right moves at the right time. He's a master tactician. He knows when to turn up the pressure, and if the fight is close, he always finds that little extra push to get ahead. It's those final 30 seconds of each round that really make a difference. When the round is tight and you're unsure how it's going to go, Usyk steps up, he throws those clean combinations, and that's often what wins him the round. You can see it clearly every time he fights. It's those key moments that really grab the judges' attention, the ones that stay in their minds long after the round is over. In tight rounds, it's those little highlights that make the difference. Usyk might land a clean right hand or a quick combo, and that's what sticks with the judges. That's how he wins those close rounds. The fight was very close, and some, like Amir Khan, thought the judges' decision was controversial, which has led to some debate about who really won. The fight was really close and people had different opinions on who won. In my view, it could have gone either way. The scorecards were all 1-1, 6-1, 1-2, but honestly, I didn't think it was that tight. I had it even going into round 10 with maybe Tyson slightly ahead. It was one of those fights that could have gone either way. Both fighters gave it their all, and I wish them the best. Tyson thought he won, and that's how it is in close fights. Everyone sees it differently. A lot of people thought Tyson won the fight, but in the end, it all comes down to what the judges saw. He came into this Tyson Fury was pretty confident that he did enough to win, saying he thought he had at least 3 rounds in the bag. He mentioned how close the fight was, highlighting how the small differences made it so tight. And this just adds more drama to their rivalry, but former UFC champion Michael Bisping gave an interesting take. He suggested that if a few punches had landed differently, Fury's performance could have changed the fight's outcome. It shows how close these battles can be and how one moment can make all the difference. Looking back at the fight, it was clear there were a lot of close rounds, and one AI judge who wasn't part of the official scoring even had Usyk winning by a wider margin, 1-1, 8-1-2. Eddie Hearn agreed with Frank Warren, saying that Fury should have gotten more rounds, but in the end, he was okay with how the decision was made. Hearn also shared his thoughts on Twitter, calling it a very close fight. He felt Usyk might have won the final round and even considered a draw, but he noticed that many fans and experts believed Usyk was the real winner. It's safe to say there's still plenty of debate about who truly deserved the victory. Overall, I just didn't feel it was an 8-4 fight, that's the thing Hearn said, but one thing I will say that was pleasing, all three judges had it the same way, and all three judges are high-quality judges, Steve Weisfeld and the like as well. I believe the AI judge had it 118-112 for Usyk. Again, I had it a draw, one round either way. I thought it was very, very close, but consistency from the judges, which is good to see. I guess we'll watch it back, but I found it difficult to pick a winner. I thought it was very close. Speaking on the futures of both fighters, Hearn rematch heavier and definitely landed some big shots. Tyson was connecting with some strong punches on Usyk. When you think about fighters like Klitschko and Lennox Lewis, Tyson's in pretty good company. Watching him, I felt strong too, and honestly, I believe no one's going to touch Tyson Fury in the ring. He's that good. Fury did land some good shots and even had Usyk hurt a few times, but it wasn't nearly as dramatic as that big moment in the first fight. This time, the judges actually got it right. Most experts scored the fight 116-112 in favor of Usyk, giving him a solid lead of about 4 rounds. And it wasn't just one or two judges, every judge agreed, even the AI judge. The boxing analysts at ringside felt the same way, saying Usyk clearly deserved the win. It was a fair result, and Usyk earned it. Let's dive into the fight. When Tyson Fury took his shirt off, I won't lie, I was a little worried. As a Brit, I wanted both fighters to do well, but of course Fury is carrying the UK flag. He stepped into the ring 55 pounds heavier than Usyk, and you could really see the softness around his midsection. Fury's always been a top performer, but he's never looked like a bodybuilder, and with that extra weight, it was clear it slowed him down during the fight. Tyson Fury came into the fight heavier than Usyk, and that extra weight did slow him down and tire him out as the rounds went on. But early in the fight, both fighters were sharp, just like they promised they would be. So they both came out ready to do damage, and they kept delivering for all 12 rounds. If Fury's big shots had connected better, he might have had a chance to win. Michael Bisping pointed out that these small moments can make all the difference in top-level boxing. For Usyk, his rise to the top is a story of incredible talent, hard work, and discipline. He's earned his place as one of the best in the sport. Usyk's rise to the top is all about his skill, hard work, and a strong will to win. People have different opinions on how dominant he is, but it's clear that Usyk has earned his place as one of the best boxers of this generation. Now, about the fight, Fury did land some powerful punches, and if they had connected, they might have changed the outcome. But that's not how it played out. When the judges made their decision, I wasn't surprised that Usyk came out on top. He was the better boxer, landing cleaner shots and doing more damage overall. Usyk came out strong, working the body early and slowly wearing Fury down. By landing jabs and straight lefts to the body, he forced Fury to drop his guard, opening up the chance for Usyk to throw powerful left hooks over the top. It was a smart strategy, and he landed that shot several times. But let's not forget, Fury was no pushover. He kept the pressure on throughout the fight, staying aggressive for all 12 rounds. Both men got hit hard, really hard, but neither of them backed down. They both took their shots and kept fighting. It was a battle of toughness, and in the end, both fighters proved just how much heart they had. A real war from start to finish. Didn't get overly tired, of course. After 12 rounds of boxing, you're going to be fatigued. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.